Today I'm going to show you how I grow carrots to last our family year-round with just 2 plantings. And at the end I'm going to show you a method that I have learned to use that supplies our family in carrots year-round without having to worry with the fuss of freezing or canning or any other kind of preserving. But first, since after I harvest this and I'll be replanting for the spring in about a month to 6 weeks, let me show you how that whole process started at the beginning of March last year and is culminating in today's harvest. Let's start with my spring planting. I planted those on March 4th, which is about a month before my average last frost date. But a couple of weeks prior to planting, I scraped off the leaf mulch that was on top of these beds. That way the soil would have a chance to warm up a little bit more. And then of course I wanted to plant the seeds in soil and not in mulch. I labeled my plant tags as one of the first things that I did with the varieties that I decided to grow. Now you'll notice here that I'm just working up a 3x6 area. That's the only area that I had for carrots last year, and it lasted for more than 6 months. I roughed up the soil just a little bit just to make sure that the carrots had enough room to grow. This soil was full of topped off compost, so it was already loose and airy, perfect for carrots. And then when it came time to actually start planting the seeds, I like to use my finger to create a small trench. Different people use different methods. Some people scatter the seeds. I like to have trenches so that I can have rows of carrots. It makes it much easier to thin and easier to harvest, but everybody has their own method of doing it. For this planting, I used New Carota, which is my favorite carrot. It's been dependable for me for many seasons. And then I also planted Danvers, which is another one that has been dependable in my garden. I tried 2 new ones that I had never planted before called Napoli and Uzbek. These were brand new to me, and so I didn't give them a full row because they're untested. I gave them half rows just to see how they would do. After planting the seeds and then moving the soil back over the seeds, I watered this area, and then this was a key for me. I do this with all my carrot planting. I cover with floating row cover. And the reason is because the floating row cover will allow any rainfall to go in, but it also will help to trap moisture, which is so important to help carrot seeds germinate. In the spring, the carrot seeds can take up to 3 weeks to germinate depending on how cool the soil is. And so keeping that soil moist that entire time is critical for success. After I added the floating row cover, I watered on top just to make sure, again, moisture, big deal. And that's pretty much all I did on March 4th at planting time. A few weeks later, after germination, I came back and I thinned my carrots. This is a huge step because carrots need at least an inch, in my experience, maybe an inch and a half between each plant for them to actually size up and be the way that you want them to be. If they're not thinned, they won't grow very big and they will be really tiny and they're really probably going to be disappointing. So thinning carrots is really important. Now you can see that in this case I am plucking the carrots with my fingers. That's because they're very small, and doing it in this way is not going to disturb the other carrots roots nearby because they're still so tiny. However, in the past, I have waited too long, and in this case, if the carrots have gotten to be too big, I do take snips, and I will snip the remaining carrots off at the soil line to make room for the other ones that I need to have a little bit more space. So whether you pluck or whether you use snips to thin your carrots depends on, in my experience, how large the carrots are, but regardless of what you do, you definitely need to do them. That way each carrot has about an inch to an inch and a half to be able to get to full size. After the thinning process is complete, carrots pretty much don't require much as long as they have consistent irrigation, and you just wait until them to size up. I ended up harvesting my carrots on June 17th. I probably could have harvested them a little bit earlier, but I definitely wanted to get them out before it got too hot and caused them to bolt. The Uzbek, by chance, actually did start to bolt, and they didn't really give me much of a harvest. I found out later they were more of a fall and winter type carrot, did not like the heat that we had. But regardless, I harvested on June 17th, and I was able to get plenty of carrots to last our family as long as we needed. And now in January, I still have carrots that we haven't completely used up, though my stock is getting low. Which brings us to the fall planting. The reason I'm able to plant and grow enough carrots to last our family all year is I plant them twice, once in the spring and once in the fall. For my fall planting, I planted the carrot seeds on August 11th. For this planting, I planted Danvers, Napoli, which ended up being a very good producer for me in the spring, so it got to stay. And then I tried a new one, Scarlet Keeper, and then I also had New Carota, again, because it's a staple in my garden. I used the same method as in the spring, except I added more water and more frequent water until sprouting. The benefit to planting carrots in the fall is that the soil temperature is so high that they germinate very fast. You don't have to wait 2 to 3 weeks in the fall. Usually they come up within a week for me, but the challenge is keeping them irrigated. In the fall, in August, it is very, very hot, and often you don't have the rainfall that you have in the spring. So a lot of manual irrigation and keeping drip lines or something like that on the carrots is a must. This year, I actually had a pretty significant setback, and that was I had a lot of roly-polies that decimated these early sprouts. I've never had that happen before. This year I used a lot of leaf mulch, which I love leaf mulch in the garden, but it seems that the leaf mulch also carried the roly-polies. And so I'm not really sure how much of a harvest I'll end up getting out of this fall planting because I noticed they were significantly affected by these roly-polies. Still, I did have some I needed to thin. I showed you that in another video. And once I was done thinning those, then they were pretty much on their own. The unique part about a fall planting is that the goal is that I want them to be able to get to full maturity by November. This is when our day length decreases and crop growth slows significantly, and by the end of November for us, they end up actually not growing at all. The goal is to get them to full maturity by November, but there's no need to harvest them right away, at least in my climate. I'm in a zone 7B. We definitely have some cold winters, and we did have a night where it got down to 0, which is why you see that I actually have covered this bed in leaf mulch. The key though is that as long as the ground doesn't freeze, the carrots will keep just fine underneath the soil, and you pretty much have your own root cellar without a root cellar. But here's the reason I'm harvesting them all now at the end of January. Carrots are biennial plants, which means during their second season, they will send up a seed stalk. And you're welcome to leave a few in the garden to do that because the flowers are actually very attractive to beneficial insects and pollinators. But if you're looking for carrots for food production, you don't want them to do this. As soon as the carrots switch to that seed producing mode, they will have a really thick stalk in the center, and it just degrades the quality of the root altogether. Doesn't make it bitter necessarily, but it's not as appetizing, and it definitely gets tough, and a lot of times the core gets a lot tougher. So I want to get these out of the garden before that process begins, and on pretty days in late January, early February, when the sun comes out and we start getting longer days, that's what's going to trigger these carrots to start going into seed production. I want to get the carrots out of the garden before that happens. All right, let's see what we've got, and then I'll show you how I plan to store these and how the ones that I've stored from my June harvest, yeah, and we're in January, how they're doing. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is take out my tag, and I know that this row is Danvers, so I'm gonna keep those separate, and then going to scrape off that mulch. A lot of times I recommend using some kind of a shovel and not doing this by hand, but this is a lot of compost and the soil is moist. In the summertime, I definitely use a shovel. They come out pretty easily. Okay, so here is the Danvers. Definitely less than I'm used to, but this is all that was left after the roly-polies got hold of it. Next we have Napoli, and this did really well in the spring. We'll see how it does. All right, this is all I got out of the Napoli. Not sure if that's because roly-polies got to them, or, I mean, this did fantastic in the spring, so we'll have to see. I'm definitely planting it in the spring again, but that was disappointing for the fall. Next we have Scarlet Keeper. This is one that Wood Prairie Farm sent me, and I've never grown it before. pretty impressed with the Scarlet Keeper. The ones that did grow ended up being quite large. Next we have New Carota. I think I did 2 rows of those maybe, let's see. Because we had that freeze that we got down to about 0, anything that was above the mulch died back. So it's a little harder to find the roots, but easier because I don't have to take a whole bunch of carrot greens off like I normally do. Okay, so here's the deal with the New Carota. This is so new to me. Only a handful of these did not end up rotting at the top. And I have never had this happen before. Goodness. I don't know if it's, I don't know what the cause of that would be, but I've also honestly never had the tops die back like this in an early freeze. Usually if we get that cold like we did in December, it's not until February when the carrots are already harvested. So maybe that cold snap did something to them, and we didn't have any snow. So maybe the snow didn't insulate. I don't know. This is so new to me, but it's definitely going to affect how I'm able to preserve, especially the New Carota carrots. But still, I want to show you how, under good circumstances and the ones that hadn't rotted, how I preserve those for months of use. So I'm about to show you my method to keeping carrots for many, many months. But I have to preface that this is not going to be pretty because these have been here since the middle of June and I'm in the end of January. But still, the fact that I was able to have carrots for our family without having to can or freeze or preserve in any way, to me was a win, because the less work you have to do in the preserving department, the better. Even though I love preserving in general, it still had other things that I could do. Okay, so you can see that I stored these carrots in a plastic container. This container was kept in an outside refrigerator, and I didn't do that as well as I wanted to, but I kept a paper towel on top, and that was to absorb the moisture. And what I did here is mainly just stored the carrots in this container. Now what you're seeing here is a bunch of little carrots because I've already gone through and we've eaten all of the bigger ones. And then you can see that they're trying to sprout, they're trying to grow. This one's I didn't use it because you could tell it's got some legs going on, but you can see all the roots. So the roots are definitely trying to grow. And what I do when I cook these, let me see if I can find a bigger one for an example. I think I've used most of the great ones. Here's one. So when I cook these, what I'll do is I'll just peel them. Here's another one that's in good shape right here, but let me find a hairier one for a good example. Okay, so this one right here is actually a decent sized carrot that I could use to cook with. And what I would do is I would just take the root hairs off, snip off the stem that's trying to grow, and then I would just peel the skin and wash it and be able to use it. Now we use carrots in cooking, so as far as the precise texture and precise flavor that you might want out of a fresh carrot, I don't really eat these fresh. I have, they're fine, but for the most part, we use them for cooking. So they're perfectly fine this way. But honestly, if you think about it, these are ones that I planted, 10 months ago, 11 months ago, and harvested over 6 months ago, and they're still firm to the touch, and I can still use them. Now, the key to making sure that these last for as long as you can is when you harvest the carrots to snap off the greens on top. That's really important, because if you keep the greens on top of carrots, then it's gonna make the carrot soft and it's not gonna last very long. To keep them crisp, you wanna snap off the greens. Another thing I do is periodically I'll come in and I'll just snap off this. If I'm getting carrots, I'll snap off what's trying to grow. And then some of them that you'll notice will develop, it's almost like they're starting to rot at the top. Those are not gonna be great, so you wanna either use them right away or throw them out, because they will affect the others. Which is why the carrots that I harvested today that have a rotten piece on top already, they've already started to rot at the top, I'm not gonna be able to store like this, sadly, because they'll just continue rotting, and they may even affect the others that are in there. So I'll probably just have to, slice off the top and either I'm not sure if I'm in the mood to can or freeze, but maybe I'll just store them in my refrigerator with this top sliced off, and then they will store for a couple of weeks. They're just not gonna store for months. But for the ones that are still intact, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take off the top and then pack them in a plastic container like this with a paper towel. I also put a paper towel at the bottom, and all this is to help to absorb the excess moisture. And then put it in a refrigerator that I don't open all that often and just use them as I need them. So those are the keys to, in an ideal world where I get a great harvest of both my spring and my fall crops, I'm able to have enough carrots to last our family all year without having to preserve. Now, you saw what happened to my fall harvest. If you've ever had an experience with that, I've grown carrots for 10 years. I've never had so many of them rot at the stem like that. I would love to hear your thoughts. What caused that? Why was it more one variety than the other? I'm not sure. Put that in the comments. I'm just very curious, because if there's any way I can prevent that in the future, I would love to do that. But I wonder if it is an effect more of our really cold snap in December that we haven't gotten in the past. And I don't know. But if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. Carrots is absolutely a crop that a lot of people struggle to get going, but once you do, you realize how easy of a crop it is and how easy it is to provide for your family for months on end. I hope this video was helpful and inspirational and educational for you. If you want more garden videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.